So since we had sort of a funny morning with Alex starting a little early and us starting a little late, I'd like to go back to the introduction part, which we don't have a ton of time for. But I did want to talk just a little bit about why I decided to do this workshop, and then I'd like everyone to have a chance to introduce themselves. So if I haven't already met you as you came in, I'm Jean Spencer. I'm the Outreach Coordinator at the Center for Latin American Studies. And every year we do a workshop on some topic related to Latin America. And I know there's a lot of veterans in this room, so you kind of know what we're about. So every year there's a sort of a long process for me of planning the workshop where I kind of get an idea and I start reading about it and I start trying to find speakers and you know, it kind of processes over a long time. And I would say this one was definitely a longer process than most years. Because the first time I started thinking about bananas was back in 1993. I was a journalism intern in Costa Rica. And it was kind of one of those formative experiences for me, because it was really, being down there really made me realize how much we in the United States, in a sense, live on the backs of other people, because our products, the prices of our products are kept artificially low by our policies abroad. And that became sort of a concern for me, like, well, how do you not take part in this? And it's actually almost impossible. I mean, I suppose I could, grow all my own vegetables, and I don't know, but it's very difficult. And then that was compounded while I was there. There was a big lawsuit. Several thousand banana workers had sued because they had been made sterile by the pesticides used in banana production. So that was going on while I was there. And then I'd spent the last month of my trip in Puerto Viejo, which is a town on the Atlantic coast. And it's very near a lot of the plantations. So I was there right at the start of the rainy season, and as the rains came through, the runoff went into the ocean. So local people swimming in the ocean would come out with skin rashes and numbness in their skin just from being in the ocean. So, I didn't know a lot about the whole thing at the time, but I was like, okay, this is not right. So when I got back home, of all the, how do you not take part, the one little tiny thing I did, which you can't tell by today because I think we have conventional bananas out there, but was to try to buy organic bananas, just because of what I had seen firsthand when I was there. So that was kind of the beginning of like, oh, bananas, And then earlier this year, as I'm kind of trying to get ready for the workshop, I was telling someone about my family history. And the funny thing about my family history is, on my father's side, my great-grandfather was an Irish butcher who immigrated to Boston in the late 1800s. And he eventually became the head butcher for United Fruit Company, supplying the Great White Fleet. And my grandfather grew up in Charlotte Courthouse, Virginia. So small southern town. And he went to work for United Fruit Company in the 20s. And I have to say, after readings about this stuff, I'm like, what was Grandpa doing? Because there was some naughty business going on at that time. But he worked on the Great White Fleet. And I wish I knew more details about it, but I don't. But he was definitely working on the ships. And that's how my grandparents met. So if it wasn't for United Fruit Company, I would not have existed at all. So I was joking with my friend, I really am a young hippie, they hear that. He's like, so that's how I got started thinking about this workshop and about just how kind of enmeshed it is in our life here in the United States. And before we go into the introductions, I just want to mention, I am going to be showing some clips throughout the day of just different, it's hysterical once you start looking at it. First, people get really weird ideas when you, if you look on YouTube for bananas, the strangest things come up. But just, even in our movies and our culture, there's been so many banana references over the years, it's actually really funny. So you'll see some of those things as we go through the day. But anyway, that's my banana story and how I got started